Welcome to On The Recyard, Women's Prison Podcast, where we are live on the Recyard every Wednesday night.
Honey, I saw that. And everybody else saw that little.
Because something happened to my computer right as the show was starting. Naturally, it just couldn't go smooth. It just couldn't happen right.
Honey, that's what makes us is that we were perfectly imperfect. So
This is big truth. We are live on the Recyard, Women's Prison Podcast. I'm Marci Marie.
I'm Toonchi.
We have a really great show tonight. I'm so excited.
I know, I'm so excited.
So we have Walking by Faith Prison Ministries, the infamous Pamela Bryant. Infamous because we're kind of in our villain era at Lioness right now, right? But Pamela did time with you.
Yes, when I was younger, yeah.
So that's how y'all met, and then she got out and she just took this. She took Austin in a whirlwind. She's got all kinds of things going on down there.
Yeah, she's a powerhouse. I can't wait for her to talk to us how we can live through and past our trauma, girl, because it's a struggle. It's a struggle to do that.
It is a struggle, and it's not only past trauma for formerly incarcerated folks, it's past trauma for everybody. Everybody has been through something, and that's what I love about Pamela Bryant, about her platform, about what she's doing. She's got a little something for everyone, and I'm really excited to invite her on the show. Before we do that, just really quickly, let's do this. Toonchi, let's do a weekly recap.
Well, Lord have mercy. I got to check my calendar because I feel like everything happens all at once. What'd you do last week?
Well, you were here.
That's right. Let's talk about that.
You were in Weatherford, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were working on that project that we've got going on with Texas A&M. It's a research project, and we got to hang out with a bunch of ex-convicts, quote unquote, a bunch of formerly incarcerated ladies that had done some bigger time this time. And it was research, and it was a focus group, but it was kind of a party.
It was, and then when we dug into the depth of the things we experienced in there through emergencies, then it got really intense. We have to really help each other through that. It was a lot, but I was certainly, moments like that really touched me in a special way, Marci, because it's like, man, we've survived so much.
It was a little bit emotional. I think that I was a little bit more mentally prepared for it than the last time. And so I was able to kind of brace myself and do a little bit of self-exploration and prepare myself for that this time. So yeah, but it was great. I want to get Pam right on.
Well, let's do it.
All right. Pamela, welcome.
Hello.
Thanks so much for joining us. We're so excited. Now, you look great. You don't look like someone that was in the hospital 2 weeks ago.
So I went to the hospital 2 weeks ago, but it was just breathing. So, but I'm here today. I'm grateful to be here.
Yeah, we're so excited. Thank you. And we're so glad that you're feeling better. And we're ready to jump right in.
Yeah. So let's do it. So, Pam, I would love if you shared with everybody, well, obviously share what you want to, but if you could share with everybody your story from where you were and where you are today and how that connects to Walking by Faith Ministries.
Which part? No. So I never had no one ask me that and try to put it all in a nutshell, but how it started from coming from prison. I knew that when I was in prison, I was one of those people that I was there, but I wasn't there. It seemed like I was misunderstood. The anger was misunderstood. Everything was misunderstood. And so when I got out of prison, I just wanted to be a person that could be a change to help be a part of dropping the recidivism rate. That's just something I wanted to do for the women because I had never been to prison before, and I was away from my children, my daughter especially, and I just vowed that I wasn't gonna come back. But I never had seen. I was like, all of these women are away, their aunts, their grandmothers, their mothers, and so that's how it kind of like started on that journey. Now, a lot of people know me. I was a bad actor. I slapped the spit out your mouth.
That's truth. I've seen it.
And I'm saying that to say that that was a part of my trauma.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
trauma had me not to trust anybody because I had
Mhm.
been sexual abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse, and I was already on drug abuse. So a part of my trauma, that's why I always say that I'm living out my past trauma in today, my child molestation, my child where people had abandoned me, rejected me, misused me. So by the time I had already got to prison, I didn't know how to even think. I didn't have any cognitive way of thinking. And so but as I got there, I first I did everything everybody else did. You know, I was a part of it. But something inside of me saying kept telling myself I could be different. So eventually, I was always went to church. I went to church. I was bad actor, still went to church. I had a relationship, but I didn't have religion. So as I went to prison, my relationship with God started to grow stronger because people think that you have to do it a certain way. And as my relationship grew stronger, God kept speaking to me. And so when I finally did get out, I was be like, I'm gonna go back. If I could help one person telling them, I've been through social injustice, racism, everything. If I can help one person and meet them where they are and tell them it's gonna be all right. So got out. I got out and started 2016. I started walking by faith prison ministry. I started going back inside the prisons around 2017. It seemed like I'm kind of getting old up in her because that's why I got to get them dates right, and them years right, But it has been that long. It has been a journey, but it was something that I was really intense on doing, trying to stop another mother from leaving her child, or a sister, or a daughter, or just a friend of mine. And then when the women that I had friends with in there, like Jennifer, they get to see me different. I don't
Mhm.
knock over tables. I don't. I'm not saying that I don't get a little angry, but I am not that person that
Right.
they seen. And so by being walking by faith, they could see this girl, something that came over her. You know what I'm saying? To be able. So that's why I believe that like I'm the trendsetter. So when people see me when they get out of prison, like y'all got your show. Like you know what I'm saying? You got your organization because it's like if I can do it, she could do it. If she could do it, I could do it. And if God did it for her, He could do it for me.
That's right.
Um, that's how the transfer it just started out like that. Then I got here and I started dealing with I found out that the unhoused community and the formerly incarcerated has like they are so alike. A lot of people didn't know that until I became recovery support specialist, but I was outreach. And I started like talking to people, and everyone I was asked people like, "Dude, what's your basic need? You want housing, this and that?" But as every time I was doing my paperwork, most every person I had dealt with, had been formerly incarcerated or went to jail, so you wasn't gonna be able to get no place to stay. So that pulled me to that way, right? So I have Walking by Faith is an organization that wants to be a part of dropping the recidivism rate of the unhoused community and the formerly incarcerated. And what else do I need to tell y'all? Oh yeah, I got Pam's Way Kitchen. Check out my web page. Now let me tell you about being in prison.
Mhm.
A lot of people think, especially when you first get out, people get out of parole. I ain't gonna do this. I ain't gonna do that. Think about everything that you did in there for free. and you can work and do it out of here. Make it happen. My first job in Austin 7 years ago was $7.50. But look how many years I had worked inside the kitchen. So I'm saying that to say that you can think about how you can become an entrepreneur. How can you grow? How can you make something that was such a big negative impact in your life grow? You know what I'm saying? I learned that everybody that was in prison, we're so much talented people. We're not the people that they are saying that we are. We'll never make it. We'll never get along. We'll never have nothing. Don't listen, because I come here to Austin after getting myself together and living in the house for 25 years, often going in and out. But guess what? When I started to get well, people didn't like me because I had to be sick. So my family was like, the cloud only stay up when they happy for when you come home. I'm just telling some of y'all so y'all understand. But what I kept on doing, I kept on moving, walking by faith, walking by faith, walking by faith, praying, have a relationship. Hear me again, not a religion. A religion will get you in trouble because you're trying to be Christian, you're trying to be this and that. A relationship is just like we're talking. That's all. I'm Jesus. I love you. You better get them, for I won't knock them in their head. But Jesus, you said that no weapon formed against me shall prosper.
That's right.
This is a relationship. This is what it is. And then coming to a relationship, it was able to grow. I had somebody talk with me on this journey. Because again, I came here homeless. And I also had my two older sisters that are mentally challenged. Now, that's what was a part of me being a bad actor, because no one told me that my two sisters were mentally challenged. I found that out by some people mailing them. So anger built up. I lost my mother when I was younger, so I had rejection and abandonment issue. And I was a full-blown addict by the age of 19 in Dallas, Texas. So when I'm saying I'm living out my past trauma, when I'm saying I'm walking by faith, I have to, because so many people had disappointed me, even the officers that was in prison. Y'all know that. Now I tell people my story. I, the black people was good. I hung out with the Mexican mafia. That's what I call it. And I hung out with the white girls and the black girls. But we have integrity there. We could still take that unity and that integrity that we had inside of there and not let the society of here change us. You know what I'm saying? Because when we stood on something, we stood on something. Whoever drove that car, they drove that car. Y'all know what I'm talking about. A lot of people don't know what I'm talking about. But
Mm-hmm.
that's how we learn to grow out here. I see y'all with the on the recyard. I be looking at, sometimes I go to bed early, Marci, because I wake up. I still work like I work in the kitchen because I
Mm-hmm.
took that. I used to already like to cook. And somebody said, "What about that black girl that be feeding the homeless people in the woods?" And they eventually gave me, I'm working on my first contract. You know what I'm saying? And this contract that I have, I couldn't have had, we used to use our hips and lips in a different way. I couldn't have made me use my hips and lips in this way. And I got my GED in prison at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm this time of my life, in this time of my life, I had got to the part of my life that I didn't have to work as hard as I did all those years. I'm able to enjoy. I want to show y'all my pool.
You have a pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm on my way. We're having On The Recyard at
Oh,
Pamela
you
Bryant's
you
swimming
don't
pool.
look, you already don't know that me and Pam have already started talking about our ideas for a nice barbecue and pool party this summer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
summer's right
Yeah.
around the corner.
But I'm
Pamela,
gonna get
you
okay, come on.
shared so much, um, like all of these little gems, and first of all, thank you for sharing. I love how you're noticing and telling us about the relationship between unhoused population and incarcerated or formerly incarcerated population, and actually how those intertwine. It's very, very factual, and I love that you serve both of those communities. And I love that you are authentic and bold enough to say, yeah, I used to, slap the spit out of somebody's mouth, because
Yeah.
where we came from, and
Well, we did.
not necessarily the way that I grew up, but in the penitentiary, that was survival a lot of times for us, and we were not only ourselves not knowing how to handle our emotions, we were around a bunch of other people that weren't knowing how to handle our emotions, and we did come together as community, and there we made bonds in there, just like you said, no matter, regardless of race, background, age, disability, we were all in the trenches together. Uh,
Yes.
yeah, and I feel like we're out here now fighting together. Like we brought
Come
some of
on.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is something that we brought out. And I say that again for everyone that I say that more important because that fight that you had in there to make it every day. It's the same fight you have to have out here fighting every day to become someone, to bring another mother, to be example, to be a testimony for someone else. We deal with a lot more out here because everybody always saying, I'm ready to get to the free. I'm ready to go to free. You deal with a lot of social injustice, you know, because we was formerly incarcerated and plus we're women, I'm just saying it's not like, oh, this, oh, that. You're still fighting, but you're an advocate now. You're fighting on a different level. We deal with racism. A lot of people, because I'm black, I'm gonna be honest, it seems like I'm black. It's like I didn't get, and you know what? You don't have to be like, I got to get my flowers. You know what I'm saying? You got to get your flowers, but it's still the fight. It's still the fight. Some people still are racial, where they don't want to identify the black woman. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what that is. We have to be honest about that, but you still have to have that fight in their relationship. And that's the more important of anything, because everything they said I wouldn't be able to do, I was able to do. And I
Yeah.
want to encourage another woman, another person that's getting out of prison. Like, what am I going to do? I want my children, because everybody don't get to come back home. Everyone does not get to come back home with a foundation. Everybody need to know that. Some people, now you looking at me, yes, it's Pam's Way Kitchen and it's Walking by Faith Prison Ministry, but I still had to get out. I'm not privileged like that. I wasn't privileged to come back and everything was just there. But remember how you got up every day and went to necessities and changed your clothes. Remember, when you did have money, you went to commissary. You had to stand in that line and try to get back for your ice cream melted. You know what I'm saying? You had to go to the child hall 3 times a day to go get you some food. Okay, just remember that. I'm telling the reason why I'm saying that, because every day that you got up, you walked by faith. Every day was a challenge. Every day that you lived, there was a survival. Just like now, we don't know if we're gonna walk outside and get bombed. We don't know if somebody gonna hurt us. It's still the same thing, but you have to still get up, encourage yourself like you did in there. Each and every person have to encourage each other. Marcia got to encourage Jennifer. Jennifer got to encourage me. I got to encourage her. We got to encourage the other women. This is how it is gonna make it be a part of dropping the recidivism rate. I went to Christina Crane unit this Sunday. So they got a show. They got a show that sometime I go with another person. They call it the tank, so they could see me on YouTube, right?
Mhm.
They were saying, "Oh, I seen you, I seen you, I seen you, I seen you," and I was like, "That's a blessing." Because when we was going there, they didn't have no computers or anything in there.
Right.
They didn't. But if somebody else could see you and Marcy, and we could spread the word, don't you know they sitting there? Oh, there go Marcy. Oh, there go Marcy. There go Jennifer. You know what I'm saying? And when they see that, that's encouraging another person, another woman, to get home to her children. That's sitting there crying after her children. You know what I'm saying? Crying because she want to go home. but she's making it through. And I know I say that a lot, but I'm grateful to be I'm grateful to be able to be a witness that change is gonna come. That's all.
Yeah. Well, and Pam, I want to tell you, and I know I recently told you this, I probably tell you all the time when I see you, is that, you know, I know that I've struggled a lot with my mental health and how to translate from prison to out here, coping with stress, coping when getting triggered and worked up, and you know, my anger, my rage when people disappoint me or I don't feel heard, like all that old stuff, right? Like trying to live through that trauma and do things differently, and that's been a challenge for me, like a big challenge.
Yes.
And I really do, because I do remember you from prison. I do remember us from prison. I do remember dumping over the TV and the yelling and the anger and the rage, and to see who you are now, it helps me. It gives me the encouragement to say, man, I'm just going to say it. Pamela will tear somebody's ass up, right? Like she was about that when she was incarcerated, right? Like because she's surviving in this tough
Yeah.
exterior. I would have never dreamed that this was who you really are, right? And I talked about that the other day too when we were hanging out, like how how the spirit can take a heart of stone and turn it to flesh. This is what it looks like when the heart of stone is turned to flesh, and to really see that in a unique way that maybe other people that didn't know you when you were incarcerated or when you were younger, it helps me, and it gives me hope that maybe I can learn how to cope differently. Maybe I don't have to bust somebody in the face or cuss somebody out
Yeah.
because, feeling so weak and other people's mercy all the time as a little kid, and then in the system when I was a little kid, right? Like all I had was my mouth, and I could roast you from head to toe, and you would not step to me, right? And it's like that is a maladaptive coping skill. Like, how do I move past that? And so I always love taking an opportunity to tell you that that transformation encourages me, and it encourages me in my spiritual life, because I've had a lot of, like you said, religious trauma, but it's about a relationship, and this is living proof of it. So it matters, and you matter to me, and your journey matters to all the women that see it. So I just wanted to honor that.
And I wanted to say, like with mental illness, um, being able to identify your rage, being identify that when you are feeling depressed, you know, having someone else to talk to about it, being able to have somebody relate to. I do want to cuss them out. I have cussed them out. Like I don't. I will. Do you having someone to talk to? You get you just like we had a partner when we was in there. You get you up like you get you with some people, or you ain't got to have that many now. Let's go and be honest. You ain't gotta. You get you one person or two people that you really you can vent to them, right? And they can vent to you, and y'all are all right. Do you see what I'm saying? Because as you come out, it's not gonna be as pretty as you think. Now we look at how cute now, but I'm gonna take this wig off later. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's when it get real, real, real. You know what I'm saying? And you have to have someone you could talk to. So if you need to take your medicine, if you need to go to counselor, you need to talk to a friend, or you need because mental illness is real big. Because I could be feeling good now and cute, but when I wake up, I just wake up with an oppression,
Yeah.
or I'm just heavy, or
Yeah.
the whole world is on my head. I gotta get the kids. I gotta because when I first came, they pushed them kids to me. My daughter just got married, but y'all just gotta think that was years ago. I've been out like what 13, 14. They one started in high school and was telling me I can't tell her what to do. Okay, so you want me to deal with you like I dealt with them, and I'm also trying to change. And then you got the whole people reminding you of your past, not trying to let you step into your future. How do you deal with that? That's that relationship. But that's also, even if you have to get the 12-step program, recovery program, or you finding someone to talk to, or the most important thing that I tell people, get you a journal. What? Write it all down. They done made me mad again. I don't want to slap them. They're not worth a fingerprint. Now you know it. You're using some tools, right? Because you're using some tools. Those are new cognitive way of thinking. That's not a way we would have thought. And I know I say that because I did take the cognitive class in there, but I took some of that cognitive and played out the circle of if I hit it, if I slap them, okay, if I slap the teeth out that mouth, what is it gonna do?
Yeah.
Right? I'm gonna go to jail. I was angry. I played the whole thing. Now I play the thing out. I said, "Girl, go on. God bless you, and let me go on and go in here." Cause you know why? I don't have to sleep. I don't have to sleep in no cell no more. I don't have to eat no mystery meat no more. I ain't never seen no meat like that in my life, and still ain't never seen none like that. Uh, Pork cutlet. I wish somebody would.
What is a pork roll?
Yeah, we ain't never seen that out here.
That's not a real food.
That ain't nobody. I cut my own lights on and off. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Yes,
Nobody
yes.
been not say no lights out. Nobody been not say hot water when I flush the commode. See, y'all think I remember this stuff and I keep it front up, even though it's been 14. This is my 14th summer. Or I got out on the summer, but I keep this in my mind, and it might be some type of PDS or whatever they call it. What is PSD? What they call it?
PTSD.
Well, some of it might be, but it's a good one to me because it reminds me where I don't want to go. And then it also remind me that I can step into my future. I can talk to Jennifer on the outside. I tell people, so I preached on Sunday. And I told them, I said, I hang out with killers.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
real ones.
yeah.
But my thing of saying is that this is for an old timer that I go in there that think that her life is over, right? Or somebody that you have been come to see. I've been out like 14 years, right? People still getting out. I hang out with people that did 25 years,
Mhm.
27 years. They still have life. This what I'm talking about, right? They still have life. So the people that think that there's no life, you got life with parole and you see the people in 30 years and stuff like that, it encourages them that you're going to have life after that. Do you see what I'm saying? And they can get, I said, baby, hold on, keep praying, because sometimes we have to reap what we sow in. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't do it, God might have you here for a reason. So while you here, you become the best you could be. You be a leader. You learn everything that you're gonna need, because when you get out here, if you don't know how to copy and paste and do a resume, it took me so long. I didn't even know how to cut the TV on when I first came home. And then my daughter used to be saying, I already showed you how to do that. Then I won't show you no more. That's what she used to say. She was in ninth grade. I said, oh, I wish I would have never changed your pamper or give you know what I'm saying?
I
Okay.
want to say, everybody, we see you in the chat. Thank you so much. We got a good turnout here for Pam Bryant, and we are today talking to Pamela Bryant. She is
Okay.
the founder of Walking by Faith Prison Ministry. She has done time. She has been through. She's been through the fire, and she's come out on the other side, and now she is teaching other people and walking other people through living out their past trauma. So that's what we're talking about today. She's not currently in a halfway house. She's actually home, been home for 13 or 14 years now, and she's doing the thing. We appreciate everybody watching. Thank you for leaving the comments, hitting that like button, those hearts, all that good stuff. And make sure you share this, because people need to hear these words of wisdom. You guys tag who you think needs to hear this in the comment section. we appreciate y'all. Thank you, Pam.
Yeah.
That so much. I'm glad this is being recorded because I'm gonna go back and listen to some of these things for certain.
Let me tell you, I can sit and talk to Pam for hours, for hours,
And
and
we do. We
and
do.
we do, and we have a good time. We talk about everything, and it's like, I told Pam the other day. I said, as I go about my day to day life, it's been 5 years for me out, right? But I feel so out of place. I feel, even at the store, I feel like
Yeah.
I don't belong nowhere. But when I'm with y'all, when I'm with Pam, when I'm with Marci and Chanel and Mandy and every single formerly incarcerated woman I know, I can't name all of y'all, but I love you equally. Don't be telling me later you didn't say my name, Diane and everybody. But this is the only place I ever feel like I belong. I feel normal. I feel safe. I feel like I belong somewhere in the world when I'm with y'all, because we can be our authentic self and we can still do the things we need to do. But then I can be honest and say, Pam, girl, I feel like I'm finna lose my shit and tear this whole motherfucker up. Right? Like, it's like,
She say
well,
that.
let's walk
I'm a
it through.
woman of God. I'm a woman of God. I wish she could say that to me, but she said,
Yeah, because
Because
it's,
you know how to take it.
yeah.
"Yeah,
Not everybody can take that. Some people call the police when you say things like that. But people that
don't call
kind
no
of
popo hoe." That's
That's right. That's
that's what
right.
that's what Medea say. I ain't say
Yeah.
that.
Well, well, and
Yeah.
it's that you're exactly right, Marcy. Like, there's places that I can't be my authentic self because of the judgment, because of the and growing up, I have a lot of the church was not a safe place for me as a kid, and it was those very kind of really harsh standards and judgment, and like Pam said, it was religion, it wasn't relationship. So to be able to to have a friend that is deeply spiritual and connected, that I can still say, I'm gonna tear this motherfucker up, she'd be like, yeah, I know, but listen, not right.
Let's do this instead.
Let's do this. Let's No, don't think about that. Let's come over here,
Yeah.
and to just be real, and to have a place. That's why I love our group so much, is because I have a place where I can just be myself and be honest about, guess what, you guys, like you said, I woke up this morning and I feel like I don't even know why I'm alive. And where does that come from? It's the enemy in our heads. It's our
Yeah.
mental health. It's all of that. But to just know we have a place where we can call somebody who really understands that, and not be afraid to talk about it.
And that's another good thing, not being afraid to talk about it. You know, getting out of prison, you make me think that's why we have to advocate for one another. And you got to learn how to advocate for yourself. I'm saying that because you could be in a place where uh, I want to say this. When I got out, where I'm at now, it's like a man in the Bible. They talk about Moses. God used Moses, and Moses was the one that stuttered, but God continued to use him. He continued to speak directly to him. And I'm saying that to say, like, I didn't have all the right words to say, and God kept bringing me to tables where, and I'm gonna tell you, some of the white people that were looking at me, I was looking back at them like, why are you looking at me like that? You know why? Because every time some of the rooms I sat in, they looked at me. I didn't speak the language. I didn't know they used bigger words. So when I sat in the room, it was like it was in an intimidating way. Like I didn't supposed to be at the table. You know what I'm talking about? And and then I had to start telling myself, if God brought me to this table, I'm gonna be here. So I might have to look up the words. That's for the people that don't, like, what did she just say? She ever think I'm taking notes? I'm like, what sounded it out? Then I look up the word while they talking, right? Oh, that's what she said. Boom, 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 boom. You see what I'm saying? But and then they started inviting me to come to the White House, to Washington D.C., to the Capitol to speak, to be an advocate for other women that are locked up or different bills. So I said, oh, I must know how to say it some way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because y'all done flew me in for 3 years straight with a prison fellowship to come and talk to some legislator. And I don't even know how to say the word that good, legislator. See what I'm saying? But guess
Some
what?
people say legislator, but we know what you mean.
Yeah. But but it was the point that I started getting familiar with myself.
Mm-hmm.
I started being okay with myself. Now I'm still kind of big on going up. I got a fruit. I got a just like when we was in. I got a couple ride or dies with me. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be able to talk to them. Is you still gonna feel nervous going to the store? You still gonna maybe you just don't know what to do. I want Jennifer to stop eating soups out of that thing. She got to come and get. She got to get some good home cooked food. You know what I'm saying? She just can't act like she eating snacks all the time. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying that to say that you don't have to be closed in. I don't want people to think I get out of prison. I want to do what Marci. I want to do what she saying her name Toonchi, what Jennifer do and Pamela do. But when I go to do it, it don't look like the way that they're doing it, right? No, I want y'all to keep on trying because what God has the way that you do it, Marcy do it different. Hi, I'm Marcy. I'm on the record. Ooh, she got it down, baby. She got it down. I be like, what? Unknown caller.
Uh-oh.
They call it unknown caller. You don't really answer them kind. Um, but everybody has their own unique way that they do it, right? So don't let that be. That's what she's saying, being authentic. See how she said authentic? I don't even know. I'm just saying being real. And I just started learning to use the words that I already knew. But the way that you do it is not the way everybody else gonna do it. So once you start to kind of shed that off, it take another heavy load. So that means if you sitting in front the White House or the Capitol down here, or they bring me before any tables, I just started to release myself and be me.
Yeah.
And this the way that I'm gonna sit up and suit up and show up.
Yeah.
And I'm letting you know. But it does be hard when you don't. Now I'm gonna tell you one good thing when you don't get the support. Now sometimes I believe that the because Jennifer, my friend, and Marcy, I do believe sometimes the white people get more of a platform, white privilege than the black people. We're gonna talk about that.
Oh, they absolutely do. No,
And
absolutely no doubt.
yes, and so it was like, okay, the the people don't clap. The people don't clap when I've been out these many years and you can't get the same support, right? But guess what? I had to go on and let that go because I serve a man. Because everybody don't stay in a 2-story house, 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath with a pool and a jacuzzi in their bathtub. So that might be my privilege. I'm teaching you something.
Mm-hmm.
So whether it's white privilege, black privilege, Hispanic privilege, God will give you a privilege that man don't have nothing to do with. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep your faith. You got to call. Marcy, call and check on my friend Jennifer. Jennifer, I call and check on Marcy. This is what we have to do when they're saying on the record, because y'all know when we went on the record, we were all talking about what was going on, passing chicken, getting us some eyeshadow, who did what and what that was going on, right? We still got to keep that same bond here.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't be intimidated. Y'all know when we used to get a new officer, I'm just giving y'all some. And they be like, that's so-and-so from over so-and-so. And they come on the record, they, hey, get over here, Brian, get over. I be like, what? What you want? What is it? You know what I'm
Trying to make a
saying?
name for them for
Making that.
themselves.
Okay. So the same thing when we're coming out, some people are intimidated because we got a movement going on. I tell them I'm happy to tell my granddaughter, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna go in and take as many as I can and bring them to freedom. You see what I'm saying? And that's what our movement is. We're trying to set a stone for not another mother. Got to be away from her children. Not another grandmother, not another niece, not another daughter. That's our movement together. And guess what? We get to do it together in unity. Because we could sit up here and tell people all day long how it was in prison. We can make the videos. Oh well, y'all had mystery meat, or we were so hot. They just now fighting for women to have air conditioners. When I got there, I was at Christina Milton Crane. It was only three. I think it was Valley Unit. And how I got to go to Valley Unit because when I first got to prison and they woke you up to do that test, I didn't want to do it, so I didn't even know what they were talking about until I got in front of the major and the sergeant, and they were saying, "Are you all right? Everything gonna be all right." And I'm looking at them like, what is wrong with them? Well, the IQ test made it seem like I must didn't have no IQ at all. Do you see what I'm saying? So they
Mhm.
sent me over to Valley. Said it was called a MROP program then for people who had done, mental retardation offender program, something like that. And and it was people. What was bad about it? Some of it, it was people like my two older sisters that are mentally challenged, right? Some of them that had probably got caught up in something. I learned a long time ago, stop asking people what they in prison for. I thought I was walked into lifetime. Caught me like, what you do, what you do, what you do, what you do. Till one lady told me a long time ago, she said, I killed your mom. I said, you ain't killed. She told me that. And I said, she said, you stop asking people. She was an old timer.
Uh-huh.
So she said, you stop asking people what they've been in prison for. You know what I'm saying? And she taught me that because if you know what they went for, you're gonna judge them.
Right.
And I didn't think about that because when I found out a girl did something, I'm like she did that to her again. And I did start being judgmental. But how I was gonna be judgmental, that's just like the people out here. They'll judge us, right? For our past. So I can't judge when a person is trying to step into their future. That's why it's so imperative for us to keep our unity, for us to keep showing up, advocating, keep making shows like this, keep doing podcasts, keep bringing the world into our lives. So you said something, Jennifer. You said, you feel different, and you feel different, and that's why you keep your circle or whatever. But guess what? By you keeping your circle and we all growing and being able to share our experience, people getting to peep into your world, right? So they know you might have some anger that day and cuss them out. But if God forgave Jesus died on the cross for us for our sin, he'll forgive you. Now I'm not saying that we keep on doing, because that's what repentance means, to turn from our wicked ways. But it means that the most thing, when I sat down with you and we be crying and everything, man, Jennifer, it's just sad. Um, but just to see that you're able to say, and I'm able to say that I slapped the spit out of people's mouth, and how we're able to say, and my friend could tell me, Pam, I'm really just feel out of place sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And I have felt that, right? So that means anytime she ready to lay down or go to sleep or be over here, she can come. You know what I'm saying? She need me, I'm coming. Because I have to remember I'm my sister's keeper, right? And I remember feeling like that. I remember feeling like everybody don't get to come home. And I told her, like, leaders, let's talk about that. I'm sorry, I'll be going on. Like, when you're a leader, like in the community, and I'm saying that to lead, like, it's a certain way that they think, it's a certain way we supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? That our circle. So if I'm telling you this is the way that I want things, I'm walking by faith. I'm the executive director. I have Pam's Way Kitchen. When I go to tell Jasmine like how to go cook this or order this or do that, she always got something to say. You know what I'm saying? But I'm the one that's supposed to be doing it. So you get, like, if an order is wrong, it's on you.
Right.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It is everything is on these shoulders. Oh, they be hurting me. I'll be like, everything on them shoulders. But when you get to hang out with other leaders or people that's pulling it through, you get to relax, right? They be like, what happened to you? I didn't slap nobody today.
That's
That's
right.
all we gotta talk about. I didn't slap nobody. I didn't go to I didn't go back to jail. I didn't do any of that. And I made it through that day. And that's why all of us get to be with each other. I don't know. I'm just really since I get to be on here, I'm really trying to tell people because y'all got the Rick Yard, and it's a podcast, but it's really important that we continue excuse me, to stick together and grow together and be a witness. Be a witness that things get better.
Yeah. Well, and I love that. We get to grow together, right? Because it's we didn't always get along inside either, right? So we certainly sometimes don't get along out here, but when you keep trying and you keep growing and you stay connected, like, and not give up on each other the way the world gave up on us a lot, like,
Man,
I just love y'all so much. I do.
I
And
just
this is Denise Cherry. She's watching, and Pamela Denise did 33 and a half years, honey. She's a lioness, and I did lots of time with her, and I know she's soaking all of this in, and she's the same, to lead by example, right? When we get out, what you're saying is, and we're being warned not to start crying. But me and Toonchi, and especially Toonch, she's a little tender heart, and she'll get to tearing up. But what you're saying about sticking together and unity, that I believe is what's going to bring. That's what's going to bring change, and that's what's going to be. It's too powerful. They don't know what to do with us, baby.
They really don't. And that was Peaches in the comments. She's in the private Facebook group. That was her. Don't start crying, because y'all know I will. But I think that y'all are absolutely right. It's the it's the power that we're building amongst each other that the world doesn't want to. That it makes them nervous. It scares them, right? Like, like our event is going to be about, we own our stories, right? Like, we own who we were. How can you, like Pam said, walk into your future without owning your story first? Yes, yes, that was me. Yes, I did that. Yes, here I am walking by faith into the future, right? So maybe I'm a villain to you, but that's not who I am.
that part right there. That part, and letting people know, okay. And see, that's what people don't want you. They want you to continue to walk around with shame, guilt about something you did in the past. Okay, I might have didn't have it all together. I'm whatever, baby. What you say? I did act as I would. You said intentionally about it. What did you say? Okay, if that's the way it went down. Because I could have seen it at a different way. I could have seen it that I was defending myself, or I could have been a lost child. It whatever way. But what you don't get to do, you don't get to dictate my future. You don't get to dictate my happiness. I have did my time. It's over with. I get to have grandchildren. You know how many grandchildren? Okay. Oh, now they call me Nana. Nana, Nana, Nana. You said, I said, don't say Nana no more, baby. Don't say that. Yeah, then I got one now. Now I'm a Gigi. You know I'm a Gigi. I said, Gigi, Gigi. I said, oh. See, but those are the things you sit there and I cried about. I cried that I wanted to see my children. I wanted to see. I didn't know I was gonna have that many grandchildren. It's like 8 of them and 3 guy kids. It's like you don't want them to come over your house now. Like if you're like, no, you don't have to. Oh, Nana, please, Nana, I need this, Nana, I this, and you could be their provider now, right?
Right.
Or they all want to get all up on you and get on your now. These are the things that I cried that I wanted to be. I was able to see my daughter get married 2 weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago. And I was in the wedding. I was this was that baby girl that I had missed most of her young childhood, right? From doing drugs and prison and all that type of stuff. I was able to be with my daughter. Like to be in shock restoration, that's what they called it. Or relationships or building new ones. It go way past me now because some days I remember first getting the K dorm hot. I remember them big white gowns. Like
Mm.
I don't want to wear clothes when I go to sleep because I don't want to think of that white gown. And that white, it wasn't no gown. That was a something.
It was a burlap tent.
Yeah,
It
it
Yeah,
was
was
just a
horrible,
sack.
and it
but
was heavy and hot and itchy, and there were times when that's all we had to wear, that we were all there were moments where that's the
oh,
only piece of clothing we were allotted.
and I got trauma from my head where that lockbox used to keep on hitting me in my
Mhm.
head too. Y'all remember that lockbox? Boom, boom, it just knocks some sense into you. Sometimes you might have the one that you open like that and hit your leg. But it's different stuff. I don't got to sit on no urn no more, put no mattress on there. I got a big bed now. And they tell me the other day when I got the big bed about, I just got me a big one like a dream. I always wanted that California X thing, just because I got grandkids and I don't want them on me and stuff. And really, and they were saying, "Mama, you just still sleep like this because you know I was still sleeping on the edge, still sleep. It's still stuff that I do. I got dogs. OG, Ganny dogs. When they come, Ganny dogs, Ganny dogs. I already got one right here. They come. You know what I'm saying? Because I be like, okay, I you know what? Because I still will have a trauma still being getting out. Like you got your cat, I got my dogs.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? I got my dogs because I still had, and when I go to work in the morning, sometimes when I go to the out the truck, oh, G, you don't want to let them see you. Oh, G, you gotta let them see you. Come
Come on, OG.
on, come on, OG. There they go. Okay, and I'm saying that you might have to get you a pet. I'm just saying. I didn't ever didn't like dogs, so I'm not on them licking all on me and my face and stuff. But I love them enough that I might never lick me one time. You know what I'm saying? And that's what doing that. I'm saying I'm just trying to give you like people that getting out and they still dealing with the trauma of prison. Like now you could get you don't have to go all the way to the grocery store. You can order at Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Then you don't have to be around a whole lot of people. Then you could sit on Walmart and you could look at all the different things that they have, and you could say, I can get this, I could do this and that. And it'll just help you too. You know what I'm saying? I'm just I just try to always relate my life. Not always, but I always try to relate me coming out of prison. How did like when it seemed like things are getting hard for me out here? What was the fight that I had in there that brought me out here? You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be in no gang, girl. Go sit down. I tell them, go. What you say, girl? Go sit down. I didn't want to be in the gang in prison. I'm not on no side. I'm not red, blue, up there. I'm for my kids. I'm for the women change, and I'm for being an example. Like, okay, don't slap her. Let me slap her now. Don't slap her. Let's pray. Let's pray for her. You know what I'm saying? Let's just go and pray for her. And you know what the praying do? It releases the anger we have for that person, but then we're praying for them to be changed. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna get changed because if God did it for us, He gonna do it for them. And I know a lot of people they get scared of Jesus because they they got their situation and they thinking that people trying to tell them, I'm not trying to tell you, I'm telling you just to pick up and build a relationship, just like we all have a relationship. You know, you ain't got no relationship with no God. They when I go back in there, they just be looking. Because you know they call me superstar. They,
Hey.
they used to call me superstar, so they be like, superstar Brian. I'd be so grateful to walk back through the doors, and I don't have to. But you know what? It's different now. The units don't look as big. You know what I'm saying? And you just be looking. And one time I have a problem when they take too long to get to the gate, or let me get out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That trauma be like, I already gave you my ID. You still got to sit there, pop the doors and stuff like that. But other than that, it's like, I get to go home. And the reason why it's so important, even if this podcast could let people see in prison, it is encouraging that you're going to get to come out one day.
Yes.
Marcy,
Yes.
you're going to get to come out. And you ain't got to make you no more mascara. You ain't got to get that magazine and scrape it and put your
For
stuff
that
on.
eyeshadow, yeah.
Y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't got to slick my hair with that blue soap. I could buy. I had a different wig on 2 days ago. Oh, and that dinner, Jennifer.
You did.
And I had one different the other day. See, I get to go buy me wigs. I work for them. That's why I keep doing this one like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just giving you that so we can understand that life goes on.
Yeah.
And don't be scared to be who you gonna be. Don't
I
be
love
scared.
that. I love that, Pam, because I think the world makes us, sometimes we feel like the world, well, they are trying to make us conform and fit a mold that you got to do this, say this, and be like this, and holding your past over you, shaming you, and you've got to be a certain way and look and sound a certain way. No, just be, like, keep it real. Like you said, just be yourself and let it flow from there, and people connect to that. You know what I mean? And I think that's why we connect to each other, and that other formerly incarcerated women get out and find us and connect to us and say, man, I just feel like I can be myself here. And that allows that space to continue to grow, and not letting all that self-doubt fester.
That's the best thing that can go on to help another person. I know I'm just sitting here. I always get to thinking I'm not gonna get to crying. But it's always a blessing. It's always a blessing. It's always a blessing. And I know that I'm always like, but it's always a blessing to get to the other side when you didn't think you was going to be able to win, to get to the other side. It is always a blessing when you do the one that they counted out.
I think that everybody that's been incarcerated, and including, I'll say including people that maybe didn't make it to the penitentiary. Maybe you were just in, and I say just in lightly, maybe you were in county jail. I think that you had moments where you didn't know if you were going to survive being
Mm,
confined like that. You didn't know if you were going to survive being treated like that, in the
mm.
conditions like that, being away from your kids, being away from your family, the
Yes.
guilt, the shame of whatever maybe actions that you did that took place, the anger at the injustices that most likely took place in addition to that. And you came out. We
Mm.
came out on the other side. And just like Pamela said, if I can do it, if Toonchi can do it, if Pam can do it, you can do it. It's there. It's right in your grip. And um, I'm so grateful for your openness and your vulnerability. You're willing to not only just share with us on the rec yard and our community here, but with your ministry, with your work, with Pam's Way Kitchen, with all of that. I can't thank you enough, Pam. And you're on some social media, and I want to make sure that we know where we can follow you at. And if you tell me, I'll put it at the bottom of the screen for the people.
Okay, let me go on and tell you. Oh yes, too. I am and I'm gonna get y'all ladies on there as well, and a couple of more ladies. So I am doing a couple of things. So on YouTube, I'm living out your past trauma in today, where I'm interviewing people about how you live out your past in today, whatever it could be. Racism, sexual abuse, being in prison, social injustice. Also, so check out that. It's living out your past trauma in today. If you're living in Austin and you want some food, check out Pam's Way Kitchen and Catering. Also, I might be looking for people to work. Another platform is Walking by Faith Prison Ministry.com. That's just what we do, what our mission is, how we helping. If you reach out to me, I'm gonna try, just like now, I'm gonna try to give you what I got for a pork chop. I'll just play. But no, I'm sorry, Lord. Let me stop playing so much. I try not to stop playing, but I'm gonna try to. I try to be a resource. I'm a peer recovery support specialist now. Walking by Faith is a work site where you can get your hours, your 250 hours if you are becoming a peer recovery support specialist. And just not even that. I'm just here to talk to. If I'm not, if I'm been a book, a resources. If I don't know where, I could try to see you. So send you to someone that can help, and just being a part of helping anybody. Those of them, I got Pamela Bryant on Facebook, but the most one, I want people to start looking at the Living Out Your Past Trauma and Today on YouTube. And this year, Marci and Jennifer don't know. I'm gonna put this out there. If it's not, but if it's not this year, we want to start in 2025. I've never done this. It's called Living Out Your Past Trauma Gala. Now, let me tell you the reason why I say this. Because now I have been getting awards and I've been to galas, right? And y'all know I ain't never had to go to no gala and put on the dress. I barely did make it to the prom.
I just now
Oh,
learned what a gala was, baby, just a
that's
few
what I'm
minutes
telling you. Come on, come on. So I want to invite us all to go to the gala. Like we gonna all participate in this. I'm gonna ask other different organizations, and I want us to celebrate living out our past trauma in today. And that means red carpet. That means get your best wig. That means get it going on. So that's something that I'm gonna be after we get through with y'all dangerous woman committee and stuff. Because I know I ain't been there, but I'm bringing the food and I'm speaking, and we got a meeting on Friday. I work sometime at Pam's Way Kitchen from 1:30 a.m. and by 2 o'clock p.m. I am asleep.
Get
We
it?
understand.
I'm sorry. I barely woke up for this. The Lord woke me up at 6:44. I was like, oh my God, Jesus gonna get me. I'm telling you the truth. And so, but I want us to celebrate. God gave me that. I want us to celebrate living out our past trauma. And the best way to do it is to introduce every other woman or every brother or man to a gala where we get to put the tuxedos on, we give out awards. God, don't that sound good?
Yeah,
That
I love
sounds
it.
so much fun. On the Recyard will be in the house at the Walking by Faith Prison Ministries Gala. We are there. I'm
Yes.
RSVP right now. Absolutely. Thank you again, Pam,
Thank
for
y'all.
joining us. It is Wednesday night, and we have been live on the Recyard Women's Prison podcast. We've been visiting with Pamela Bryant, who is the founder of Walking by Faith Prison Ministries. For those of you listening to the podcast, make sure you're checking out Pamela Bryant's YouTube. You can look it up by Googling YouTube, Living Out Your Past Trauma in Today. Make sure you subscribe. She's interviewing and telling a lot of success stories in relation to living out your past trauma. You can visit her website at www.walkingbyfaithprisonministries. Is it .com, Pamela?
Yes, it's
Okay.
ministry.
Ministry.
Yeah.
Thank you for
So,
that. Walking by Faith Prison Ministry.com.
okay.
And she also has Pam's Way Kitchen. She does catering, and she feeds the unhoused folks. And she's always looking for volunteers, guys. So hit Pam up for that.
Well, I
And
need can I interrupt?
please, I
Because
was fixing to ask you.
let's talk about that food.
Jennifer always trying to come and get some. She'll work
Oh my
for
God.
plates. She works for plates. She was there Saturday. Saturday she come work for some baked chicken, Cajun jerk chicken. Go on and tell them, Jennifer.
The food is, I mean, I will drive across town to go get me a plate. Pam is a fantastic cook, and she's like, "Girl, you guys." She did tell me that stop eating them snacks and noodles. You need some home cooked food, and I'm like, "Well, I'm always going to show up for you because it is the best food in town. I promise y'all. So if you're in Austin, get you a plate. And I want to plug. We're all going to be at the Dangerous Women in Our Villain Era event for Lioness at the Austin Cinemakers space on March 30th, 6 to 9. Pam will have plates. So you need to come eat. We got a DJ. We've got a nice presentation going on. We all going to be dressed as our most favorite dangerous woman. So if y'all want to
I
meet
should
Pam
just
in
come as
person,
myself.
that's right. You can.
that's what
I
that's
just
what I said. Hey, yeah, because we can look up to other villainous women, but ourselves should be our favorite. That's the
Right.
goal, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we will
yeah,
be there March 30th.
yeah,
And
30th.
Pam, thank you again. Couldn't appreciate you more. We will be at same time, same place next week, folks, 7 p.m. Central Time on the Rec Yard Women's Prison Podcast. Until then.
Yeah, people.
Thank y'all for hanging out with us on the Rec Yard Women's Prison Podcast with Marci Marie and Toonchi.